What's going on, everybody? Believe it or not, season 4 of Up for Debate is back. And the first thing you guys are going to notice, I'll just address the elephant in the room, is unfortunately no Vid. Unfortunately, Vid was just busy with a lot of stuff going on in his life. And he just basically said, hey, guys, I don't, want to be any dead weight. I want to help you guys out. And I think it's best that, I take a step back for now. So for now, Viv's taking a step back, but doesn't mean he still won't be doing appearances when the Vikings have great matchups and things like that in the future. So still keep an eye out. But joining us tonight as a special guest, we got NFL Mike in the house, baby.
What's up? I might not be as talented as Viv, but here you go. Ready? Skull Vikes! Skull Vikes! There you go, Viv.
Oh.
That was pretty authentic. I like that a lot. But how we doing, Jay? Season 4, how you feeling, baby?
Hey, man, I have to introduce our next guest. Durag Poppy's in the building. Anyway, man, I'm happy to be here, man. Everyone here, join the live, join it up. On the live, join Up for Debate. I'm happy to be here, man. We're doing everything done. So anyway, let's get to that first topic, dog. Let's get the people what they want.
Let's do it, baby. I love it. First topic of the night. We're talking about the film room freakout. Since we've been gone, Kyler Murray literally has been getting babysat. We'll let our guests take it first.
Yeah, so I guess Kyler Murray is dealing with some film room study issues. So they put into his contract a clause that mandated that Kyler had to participate on his own, separate from the team, in a certain amount of hours of film study. Now, the Cardinals have since retracted that part of the contract, taken that part of the contract out. They kind of hit the panic button a little bit when they saw how the public reacted, because they were like, oh, man, this kind of looks really terrible for the quarterback that we just spent the most money on a quarterback ever on. But there was something to that. And me and Tony Tucker have talked about it a lot over on the MJT channel, that there is something to that. They did not put that in the contract for no reason. There is a reason that was put in the contract. Maybe Kyler Murray not been working in the film room the way he should be over the first couple years of his career. The Cardinals also, and maybe you guys are going to talk about this, but they tried to kind of like make up for it a little bit, and they were like very publicly putting it out that Kyler Murray is calling plays for the entire preseason. Cliff Kingsbury has handed the headset to Kyler Murray, who's not playing in the preseason, and he is going to be calling the plays like an offensive coordinator to just kind of be like, yeah, see, look, he's well-studied. He can call plays. He knows what to call against certain defenses. But then why did you put a 6-hour mandatory study in his contract? Just say it.
Thank you. That's exactly what I'm saying. I'll be quick, but, you're right. Like, if you really believe in Kyler Murray, you wouldn't have humiliated him and babysat him like this and done him like this. The whole NFL community literally laughed at him. And now he's up on a podium. I'm at a disadvantage, like all this shit. Like he's like pissed off. He's got like a chip on his shoulder. He's angry, and he's going to be good. Don't get me wrong. But like the Cardinals, I think that this is more on them than Kyler Murray. Like I'm honestly would be upset if I was Kyler, just because like I'd feel kind of betrayed by my organization. Like, okay, you don't believe in me as a QB to do this on my own time. Like, and he did say that. He did say, I feel disrespected that as a quarterback in this game and in this league that has to go out and compete like that with these receivers and these defenses that I'm not going to study. So I hear where he's coming from, but at the same time, I really agree with what Mike said. There's a reason that this is in the contract. There's a reason that this is in the deal for some reason.
Yeah, well, Mike was talking about that they did this, like let him call the plays on offense to kind of make up for it. But I think it's more like the opposite, Mike. I think they're like, this is your test. Like, are you really knowing what's going on? Like, in school where they like, they be like, you got to do your homework and stuff like that. And you take that test. I think this is that test. They give him a test. They're like, can you really do this? Can you really get what's going on? Do you know what's going on? So I think Kyler Murray, I don't know what's going to happen. At the end of the day, people just brush it off as preseason. But I think it's kind of funny. I just think at the end of the day, this is just kind of funny. Well, it's concerning if you're a Cardinals fan because you want your quarterback to study. Was that Jamarcus Russell was the guy where they gave him the film and they were blank tapes and he was like, oh yeah, I read all that. I was watching all that stuff, the X and O's and the crossing routes. I got it all. So hopefully that's not the case with Kyler because he's a lot better now than Jamarcus Russell was at this point in his career, obviously. So we'll see what happens.
Hey, I mean, the Cardinals scored 36 points in their first preseason game, and none of the starters played. So maybe Kyler's a good play caller. Maybe
Yeah.
maybe him off the field and just strictly have him calling plays.
Yeah.
Colt
I can
McCoy
see
can
that.
win games. Colt McCoy can win games. We saw that shit last year.
Hey, but Mike, Joe wants to remind everybody, Joe Morley, fade the Cardinals, regardless of how many points they score in the preseason. Because like we know, the Raiders are 2-0 in the preseason, but like we know, the preseason doesn't matter. I don't care about it. It's the opposite of what happens in the regular season. Look at the Ravens, if you want to know.
When I agreed to come on this show, it was promised we would not speak of the Raiders. What is this?
Oh, well, that's going to happen a lot, Mike.
First 10 minutes, we're already talking about the Raiders.
I didn't do it. I did not do it. That was all Jay. I'm just saying.
Take it out of my contract. Take it out of my contract.
I guess we can move on to a more positive note. Let's just keep it in your guys' city. How about that? We'll hit that kind of flow. But this guy is still a free agent. I literally just learned this today and just thought of this. This actually baffles my mind. He was number 90 on the NFL Top 100 this year. I think he only had like 300, 400 yards, but he had 5 touchdowns with the Rams, and that was way more than the 0 that he had last year with the Browns. So, I mean, we're kind of birthday buddies. I'm November 6th. He's November 5th. Just to start, he'll be 30. So I believe in him as a fellow Scorpio. But at the end of the day, I think that wherever OBJ goes, he's going to ball out. I really hope that he stays with the Rams. I mean, I know that that's kind of just a recipe for disaster for me as an Eagles fan, wanting to get a playoff win or wanting to, potentially, get a couple wins in the playoffs. But I think that he fits in that offense, and I think that it's the best fit for him. I really don't see another team of where I think that he would fit right now or where it would make sense for him to go. Only other team maybe that I could see, maybe New England, maybe the Packers, just because they haven't acquired anybody yet. But that would be it for me, in my opinion. What are you thinking, Jay?
Well, I think he's staying put, honestly. I think he's going to stay with the Rams. But, you look at the Rams, they just picked up Allen Robinson as well. So now they have, 2 really, really great wide receivers with Cooper Kupp and Allen Robinson. So if they bring a third, I mean, that'd be insane. They got the young guys, too, Van Jefferson, Tutu Atwell. I think Ben Skoranek should not be on the field in the regular season, but that's just me. So I think OBJ being in LA with the Rams is a good thing for them. But, I mean, I think the Seahawks might need a third wide receiver if they want to bring on a guy that might not want too much money and see if they got something. But at the same time, I think OBJ is going to want to play for a team. There's only 4 teams I think he really wants to play for. I think it's going to be the Rams, the Bucks, the Chargers, and the Bills. I think those are the only teams that he'd accept a contract with because I think he wants to go back and win another Super Bowl. He just won one, and he didn't get to play the last 3 quarters. I think he wants to play a full Super Bowl and win one where he felt like he contributed to the game. So I think he's going to go to one of those 4 teams purely for that reason. But I think the Seahawks is a good fit because they actually need a guy like OBJ to kind of play, with their 2 guys like DK and Tyler. But that's just me. They need help. They need help in Seattle. LA's kind of good.
Yeah, I think that Seattle would be interesting, but I don't know. I want to count on it. Mike?
Y'all already know what a big OBJ fan I am, man. I grew up as kind of a kid that started playing high school football around the same time that Odell Beckham Jr. was in his prime, just watching this guy destroy the league when he was in his prime. But I disagree with Jay. OBJ contributed to that Super Bowl. There was he did a nasty catch against the 49ers to seal that game up the sideline, got destroyed by the free safety, sold out for his team, dove for the ball, took the hit, hung on to the ball, got up, and flexed on the San Francisco 49ers. And then in the Super Bowl, obviously, he had a touchdown. He was on his way to a 100-yard game. I think he had 60 yards or something like that before the ACL went. And rumors are that he played through a partially torn ACL, and it just fully tore in the Super Bowl. So give OBJ his damn ring. He deserves that one. That one goes in the legacy pile. That one also locked him in as a Hall of Famer. It's good to see him on the top 90 out of 100 list because Odell, in a lot of people's mind, has fallen off. But really, he was just having a hard time in that offense in Cleveland where they only throw to the slot receiver and the running backs. That's it. It's check down, handoff, check down, handoff. So getting himself back to life in LA, it was really good to see for me. I was rooting for the Rams once the Chargers got eliminated personally, just because of Odell Beckham Jr. I think that the perfect landing spot right now for Odell, if he wants to go play in the cold, This team is fun to watch. They got a lot of electric players. They like dancing in the end zone. It's encouraged there. Their whole fan base will back Odell to the moon. That place already has his best friend there in Von Miller, is the Buffalo Bills. I think if he went to the Buffalo Bills, he could seriously still compete for championships there for a couple more years before eventually retiring. Obviously, 30 years old with 2 separate ACL tears. The clock's ticking, right? And he can't really be the key component of an offense anymore. He needs to be the secondary. Stephon Diggs, Odell Beckham Jr., Gabe Davis, Dawson Knox with Josh Allen. Woo! I actually don't want that. I changed my mind. I don't want that because the Chargers have to deal with that.
Yeah, Mike, who team are you on? Who are you rooting for now? You're a Bills fan?
Go to Philly.
You know this, Mike. This is what you do know, though, Mike. You know a guy like me, and especially a guy like OBJ, if you're in the Super Bowl, you want to play the entire game and be celebrating, be gritting on people, dancing on people, flexing on people until the fourth quarter when the clock hits 0, you celebrating with your teammates. He was out there, was he in the locker room, like dying of pain the whole time? I know he wants to get back, Mike.
He came back out. He was out there. He was on the sideline. There's clips of him crying, hugging his teammates and stuff. He got to celebrate.
Oh, that's right. There, he did cry. Oh, never mind. He's good. He can go to the Seahawks. He was crying already. He won.
No, Buffalo. He could cry again. He could cry again. Or maybe this time. Maybe this time he'll get the Lombardi Trophy. He'll hit the whip. Right.
Oh, Mike. No. He get the Lombardi Trophy and he'll do the he'll do your dance.
Oh, the AB dance.
AB thinks that he's going to Dallas apparently, but that's what.
Oh.
You know where AB should go? He would fit in with his QB. He would fit in with his QB, Jay. He's your favorite.
The Browns? The
Browns?
AB to the Browns? AB to the Browns. AB to the Browns.
No.
Listen, they both like little towels. That's all I will say. If anybody remembers that story about AB with the girl when she came to paint at their house, that's all I will say. But Deshaun Watson, baby, 1 for 5, 7 yards, 24 lawsuits. Outstanding numbers this year. I mean, what is this guy doing? I mean, he's washed his shit. Jay, I'm not going to lie. Before the season started, I was like, okay, Deshaun Watson is a sick man. But at the end of the day, I mean, he can still play football. At this point, I'm just like, this guy's a sick man. And he sucks. I am off the hype train after one preseason game. I think he sucks. What do you think, Jay? I mean, you called it.
Yes, and you know what? Look, I've been calling him a 6'6" man since like 2017 when I heard of the man. I think like his rookie year. I've been saying he was trash, and I first seen him play. I seen him play like a few games with Houston, and I was like, this guy sucks. What is he doing out here? I don't even understand what he's even playing. I didn't understand why he was in the NFL. And then you look at guys like Zach Wilson and maybe even Trevor Lawrence last year, and maybe you could say the same thing where maybe they just had a bad coach or a bad situation, or people make all excuses in the world for Deshaun Watson. It's been like 5 years, and they're still making excuses for him. When's he going to take accountability for him just sucking? Like, it's not the players, it's not the coach, it's not the teammates. He's on a new team. Davis Mills had the same team. I say over and over, had the same results. So all I'm saying is Deshaun Watson, it's been 5 years. Give it up already. You suck. Stop molesting women or whatever you're doing. Whatever the proper word is, sexually assault people. But it's crazy. This chart, this graph, he had 3 times as many lawsuits as he had yards in that game. And he was overthrowing people, missing people. It wasn't even like people weren't getting open. They were open. He just could not get it done. And the crowd didn't like him, Mike. I know you say I'm a hater, but the crowd was saying some things that I would never say to anybody. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, they were hating. I mean, but maybe he was focused on something else.
Maybe, hey, he got a massage afterwards.
Post-game activity? Just saying.
I think that like the previous weekend before the game, it was like there was a massage convention or something in Cleveland.
Oh, yeah, in Cleveland.
Everyone was making memes out of that and stuff. I got nothing to add to this conversation. Y'all did it all for me already. Terrible start for Deshaun Watson's football playing career if he ever plays again. Dalton, I saw this edit and I couldn't stop laughing. I didn't realize the first time you sent me this when you were getting ready to prepare for the show that was that edit. I didn't realize that. I did not at all until right now.
I mean, he's got the eyesight of Bill Cosby and the decision-making of Bill Cosby. So not a real good look on Deshaun Watson's part. Yeah, maybe we should start calling him Deshaun Cosby now, Jay.
I'm going to give him a lot of things. I'm going to call him a lot of things throughout the season. I'm going to tell you that. That's one of the things. But
hey, you know what I'm going to be calling?
Dalt, favorite part of that whole segment, though? AB to Dallas. I like that. I didn't even think about that.
No, get out of here. I do not like that.
Hit the dance and think about it. If he goes to Dallas with Gallup out wide and CD out wide, he could purely play the slot. That's kind of dangerous. He don't have to play outside like he did with Tampa.
And they can win the division and lose again in the wild card.
That would sign him.
They would.
They are a horrible organization.
You'd overpay him.
Especially if this dance keeps getting trendy, they're going to want to sell some more tickets and jerseys.
Jerry's going to end up doing the dance with AB, and then Jerry's going to get smacked and, called something. I don't know. It's going to be horrible.
Imagine AB
poor man Justin Jefferson.
It's halftime, and AB, Jerry Jones at midfield, hitting the put that shit on.
That's fine, and the Eagles are up by 2 touchdowns, but AB's so fucking whacked in the head. He's like...
taking his shirt off.
Yeah.
He'll just snap the ball at the wide receiver and take a knee when they're down by.
He's the mascot
and the head cheerleader.
AB to Dallas. I want it.
All right, Jay. This was your idea for a segment, and it's honestly one of my favorite ideas. The replacements. Which one's your favorite, baby?
Yes, my favorite. See, originally I had a pick, but I'm changing the pick. It's not even on the graphic, dog. I just changed it yesterday. Mike was there. He's seen it. He was there. Mike knows what I'm gonna say. My pick is Jarrett Stidham. He's been balling. He's done more than Derek Carr has done his entire career. Jarrett Stidham, I think, is the number one option, in my opinion, the most favorable player to take someone's job this season. Jarrett Stidham, book it.
You think he's taking Mac Jones' job, right? To clarify.
No, he's in Vegas.
No, Derek Carr. Oakland, Vegas Raiders. Oh, yeah, my fault. Las Vegas Raiders taking their spot. I think it's Jarrett Stidham. He's been balling. The Raiders never win games except for Week 18 because the timeout game. Me and Mike know it well. But other than that, they don't really win games. Jarrett Stidham's undefeated. He's winning them easily. He's not even close. He's smacking teams.
We'll see. I mean, I have no comment on that one.
I love Derek Carr. But Jarrett Stidham's been balling. I love Derek Carr. I hope he keeps his job. I hope he does well.
So if Jarrett Stidham is starting by the end of the year, will you buy his jersey?
No.
I had to try.
Mike said that if Jarrett Stidham takes Derek Carr's job, he would dislike Jarrett Stidham because of that. Right, Mike? What was it? You said you would not like Jarrett Stidham if he took the job, right? Because he's Raiders quarterback?
Actually, I mean, if he gets Derek Carr out of there, maybe I should like him a little bit.
Yeah, true.
Wipe my mouth with his jersey.
It's like a situation with Patrick Mahomes in Kansas City. If the team falling apart because of his contract end up leading to him demanding a trade, then maybe I should like all those guys that are there in Kansas City, not hate them.
Who's your pick, Mike? Who you got?
Oh yeah, can I pick someone that's already replaced the previous starting quarterback, or is there rules that I have to predict someone to replace?
Let me ask one question: how long ago did they replace the previous starting quarterback? Last year?
This offseason.
Go ahead. Yep.
The quarterback that is replacing a starting quarterback for the previous years that's going to do the best is San Francisco 49ers quarterback Trey Lance. He's going to light the field up this year. He's going to be an MVP candidate most likely this year. Y'all saw that preseason game, right? We don't take too much stock into preseason unless it's number 5 dropping dimes up the sideline, unless it's number 5 looking way more explosive than anyone trying to tackle him out there already, just like he did in college. But I'm going to go with also, let me give a shout out here. I saw Desmond Ridder's performance in the first game. If he keeps performing like that, if he has 3 great games like that, including a game now that he led the team on a comeback win, Desmond Ridder has a chance to supplant Marcus Mariota. But I think it's going to take a lot because Arthur Smith handpicked Marcus Mariota. They worked together in Tennessee. Any of Marcus Mariota's success that he's had in his career has been with Arthur Smith. Arthur Smith knows how to use Mariota, how to get the most out of his rushing ability. So I think it's going to take a lot, but Desmond Ridder has the most chance. I think Mitch Trubisky is the guy in Pittsburgh for at least the full season. I think that Ryan Tannehill is not so bad that they're replacing him with 1 year of a rookie quarterback behind him, unless things go wrong for the Titans. They lose Derrick Henry, and they have a really bad record at the end of the year. But I think that Desmond Ridder has the best chance to, take over because of good play, I guess. And
Mike, I wanted to say real quick. I'll tell you, I had a 36 quarterback ranking recently, and you know who was under Deshaun Watson and under Sam Darnold and under Baker Mayfield? Trey Lance at number 36.
Why?
So, got to chill with this Trey Lance hype.
What's the reason?
Hey, chill. You gotta
What's the
chill.
reason?
That's all I'm saying. You gotta chill.
There's no reason.
Why do you hate mobile quarterbacks? That's what it is. I've noticed that you
Hold
only
on, I
like
love
traditional.
I love
Put this dude back on the single screen.
Russell Wilson's my favorite quarterback besides Tom Brady. Russell Wilson, Lamar Jackson, Kyler Murray. Those guys are great mobile quarterbacks. Even Dak Prescott's a decent mobile quarterback. Trey Lance has done nothing.
But what playoff games have all of those guys won that you're naming? I mean, I'm not
Put
saying
this
that
man-
Trey Lance has either.
Put
But
this man on the screen. Solo
Who?
shot for Jay
Russell
Fly. I have a
Wilson.
question.
Russell Wilson won
Put him
Super
on.
Bowl.
Put him on.
What?
Put him on. Put him on. So you're telling me, Jay, that you'd rather have Sam Darnold than Trey Lance?
Yes. I'd rather have Sam
Flip
Darnold
it.
than Trey.
Dalton,
If Baker Mayfield
flip this-
takes the job, I hope that Sam Darnold goes to San Francisco. And if Baker Mayfield takes the job from Sam Darnold, which I think he probably will, hope Sam Darnold goes to San Francisco and leads that team to a second-round playoff exit. Because that's what's going to happen with Sam Darnold. Trey Lance won't make the playoffs. I'm telling you right now. Trey Lance not going to make the playoffs this year. They went from an almost Super Bowl winning championship team with Jimmy Garoppolo last year to a team that won't make the playoffs. I'm telling you now.
The only thing Sam Darnold's ever produced is a number 1 overall pick the next year. That's it. The Jets, over and over and over again. Then he went to Carolina
Hey, that's not
and is
bad.
doing the same thing with them. Sam Darnold stinks. Smelly.
don't get Robson
He does
on here. We all know how Robson feels.
They drafted quarterbacks to replace him. They brought in quarterbacks from the XFL to replace him, and now they've traded for quarterbacks to replace him. They have been Cam Newton came in to replace him. They've been trying to replace this dude at all costs.
Which just shows you, Mike, how bad Trey Lance is if he's one spot ahead of Trey Lance. That's how bad he's bad.
I'm just saying
He's terrible.
that ranking is awful. Trey Lance about the ball out.
I think I like the comparison. My pick, I like Malik Willis. I hate Tannehill. I mean, Jay knows that. I always shit on Tannehill for some reason. I don't know why. I just feel like Tannehill to me is like what Trey Lance is to Jay. And I'm not saying that I think Tannehill's number 36, but I think Tannehill's like number 20, number 15. He's just a guy that goes in, hands the ball off, makes a couple decent throws in a game, and wins. And then when he gets to the playoffs and he's actually got a ball, he's like, oh, shit, I've never done this before. I don't know how to ball. I only did it when I was in Miami for a little bit. So, yeah, man, I'm completely out on him. These preseason games, from what we've seen from Malik Willis, who said it earlier? I think it was Mike, that they're not going to take him out. I agree. I think Tannehill gets another year. But maybe what we're about to see in Tennessee is kind of like what happened with the Chiefs when they had Patrick Mahomes and Alex Smith at the same time, I think, where that last year, I think Patrick Mahomes sat on the bench and watched for a year. And we didn't really know, how good he was going to be. We knew he was good, but we didn't really know what he was yet. And, somebody like Alex Smith or Ryan Tannehill, $50. If Ryan Tannehill ends up leaving the team next year, he ends up on the team. I'm going to bet the Commanders. That sounds like a team that he would end up on. They're like, yeah, middle of the pack QB that somewhat has a good reputation. Bring that ass here. We want that.
He could try out the Colts. He could try out the Colts.
That's good too.
Probably couldn't tell the difference with helmets on, but I feel that I will say this: Luke is cracking. He agrees. Lance sucks. I just want to point that out because in the comments they agreeing with me. So I appreciate you guys in the comments.
Okay, Luke didn't say he agrees with Sam Darnold over Trey Lance. Let's be clear there, and let's also be clear that every time someone says Lance sucks, and I ask why, no one can give me an answer.
I like Lance.
Sucks,
I don't think
Mike.
we've seen enough.
At what? He is a cannon. He is a cannon. He has great down the field passing. The only thing that he needed was development in his pre-snap game. That shit's easy. He just needed practice. He just needed reps. He just needed a year for his body to develop a little bit more. This guy in college was a monster. A monster. And I have no reason to believe that was Shanahan mentoring him and Shanahan being confident enough to go from the almighty Jimmy Garoppolo, Super Bowl losing quarterback, to Trey Lance and not even bring Jimmy Garoppolo to practice just in case things don't look right. That lets me know that Shanahan believes in him just as much as I do.
Look, Mike, I can trump all that with internet logic right now. You want to tell you why Trey Lance sucks?
Why?
Because Trey Lance sucks. Because he sucks. That's why. That's all you need on the internet.
That's not internet logic. That's just
internet
blind
life.
hate.
You're a TikToker, Jay. You're a professional TikToker. You should hold yourself to a higher standard over everyone else. Right, Mike?
This is
Don't
why.
you
All right,
agree?
this is why. I was joking.
I thought you were about to slash TikTok. I was about to say easy up there.
No,
Easy
seriously. We are TikTokers. We are content creators, Jay. You can't be out here making us look like internet trolls and memes and doing the AB dance. Yeah, I'm with Mike. None of this shit.
Hey, all I'm saying is, by the way, Luke said the whole NFL over Lance. So that means Sam Darnold's including that. But I will say this. This is why I don't
Luke
like
is a Seattle fan. Of course he's going to say that.
Yeah, hey, Seattle's going to the playoffs this year. Seattle's making a wild card spot in the NFC. But anyway, that's besides the point. But I will say this, is that Trey Lance has done nothing to show me that he's done anything outside of a read option touchdown, which was fine. It's fine. Bryce Perkins did that on Saturday night against the Chargers. That's fine. He's a mobile quarterback. He could do some RPO stuff. And he threw a wide open pass to Deebo Samuel because Jamal Adams in the corner got confused on who they were guarding, and he was wide open. So he hit wide open targets. I agree, and he can run the ball. I don't know if that's going to make it. And he can't run it like Lamar or Russell. He can't run it like the great guys. I think he runs it okay. He's like a Tua or like maybe he's like maybe like a little Deshaun Watson even like that. And I don't like Deshaun Watson that much. So that's what I'm saying. He's not an elite runner like Kyler. He's not a great passer like Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers. Why do we like this guy? I don't understand. I don't understand why we like this guy.
Well, let's put something on the record. Let's put something on the record. Who's a quarterback you're willing to put up against Trey Lance this year?
Oh,
what do you mean put up against him?
Yeah, like who's gonna have a better season?
Why don't you put up Zach Wilson?
A lot of how much time you got? Russell Wilson.
Put Zach Wilson against
Justin Herbert.
Put Zach Wilson or Trey Lance.
Zach Wilson, game for game, Zach Wilson will have a better season than Trey Lance on the Jets.
So total stats at the end of the season,
Trevor
you
Lawrence.
would say
Trevor Lawrence. Because Trevor Lawrence is healthy. He's going to play the whole season. He should play the whole season. Because Zach Wilson's going to miss a game or two. Trevor Lawrence is going to have a better season than Trey Lance, hands down. And Zach Wilson. I'll put both of them.
Trevor Lawrence is a bad example. Trevor Lawrence is a generational talent also. I'm talking about like some Sam Darnold shit that you were just saying.
All right, Jared Goff will have a better season.
Okay.
Jared Goff, that's a good one.
I'm fine with that.
All right. Jared
Lions, the worst team in the league.
The 49ers will win more games. Trey Lance will have more total yards, more total touchdowns, and less total turnovers.
Hold on. Wait, all of those things are like
all of them.
You want all those
all
things?
of them.
Because
he'll have a higher QBR.
I think they'll win more.
He'll beat him every stat. He'll beat him every stat, but maybe passing yards, and that's only because Jared Goff's gonna be in a shit ton of garbage time games.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Because Jared Goff.
No, that wouldn't worry.
He will be in the garbage time games
like 3 games.
Because he sucks. It won't be a good thing that he's in the garbage time games racking up the yards.
No, you're right. The Lions will win like 3 games because they're Lions. The Niners will still win at least 6 because they were just a Super Bowl champion team, basically a Super Bowl caliber team without Trey Lance. It's not going to change that much. Just hand the ball off to the 5 running backs you have over there that are really great. But I'll say that. But I think Jared Goff will have better passing numbers for sure. More yards. I would say even more passing touchdowns and a better QBR.
Well, we got to do total yards because Trey's going to run it like Lamar. Jared Goff's going to have more.
Zach Wilson still.
Jared Goff's going to have more passing yards than Lamar Jackson.
Jared Goff's not going to run the ball. So give me Zach. Give him
both.
Give me both.
Total. If you take total, both the rushing and the passing, it balances out because Jared's also going to throw way more than Trey Lance.
All right, so give me some of DeAndre Swift's rushing yards. I'm just playing, bro. I'm just playing.
Can we have some freaking Elijah Mitchell's rushing yards too? All right, let's talk about the winners.
This is going to be a backup.
You can take it first, though, Mike. Who were some of your winners and losers throughout preseason?
I want to give a shout out to the guy you see on the screen here, number 14, George Pickens. Before I made my video on George Pickens, predicting him to win Offensive Rookie of the Year, everyone was chanting Sky Moore. Everyone was chanting Romeo Doubs or Christian Watson. Everyone is chanting Garrett Wilson. Everyone is chanting Kenny Pickett, but no one was talking about George Pickens. But now, after training camp and this one preseason game, the internet is on fire for George Pickens. George Pickens is probably making freaking internet money right now before he even gets started with his football career. This guy is built to be a star wide receiver in the NFL. He's 6'3" and still probably growing because he's 21 years old. He's got crazy speed. His route running. I was watching Steelers practice. I was watching clips from Steelers practice comparing his route running to Deontay Johnson. Deontay Johnson is one of the best route runners in the NFL. And George's look more clean than Deontay's. And that's crazy to think about, that a rookie is walking in the camp and even looking similar to one of the best route runners in the league. He's also got a crazy wingspan and crazy catch radius. Everything is perfect for this guy, and people talk about maybe he's going to struggle because of the quarterback situation in Pittsburgh. I think he's one of those receivers that thrives with any quarterback just because of his skill set. So Pickens is my biggest winner. Obviously, the Jets are going to be my biggest loser. Their quarterback got injured on like the first drive of preseason. Fortunately, not a major injury. Zach Wilson is expected to be back by week 2 at the latest as of right now. If there's any setbacks, there's probably going to be more updates on that. But there's even a chance that he plays week 1 still. So I'm going to go with Steelers and George Pickens specifically as my biggest winner. And Zach Wilson, they happen to be on the graphic right next to each other. I just noticed that. Zach Wilson and the Jets as my biggest loser. You don't want to see your young quarterback in one of the most important years of his development suffer a knee injury that could set back his year.
No, I agree with everything you said. I think you took the words out of my mouth for Pickens. Dude was an absolute stud throughout preseason, throughout the year. I really like him as a player, as a person. He's fucking crazy, and it makes sense. He's a absolute unit. When he got drafted, we've all seen that video where he's just sitting there in front of the TV, with that dope ass lean, just chilling. I would not mess with this guy. I think that he's kind of scary physical too. People don't expect him to have that contested catch ability. And I really, really like him as a player. I think he's fun. And I think that Mike also brought up a good point. He's already with Deontay Johnson, one of the best route runners in the league. He has great teachers around him. The Steelers organization is great at bringing up wide receivers, number one. And number two, I think the biggest thing for me is he's got Deontay Johnson. He's got Chase Claypool, no matter what you say about his TikTok. Yes, he's definitely making internet money if he's hanging out with Claypool. But back to the point about Pickens, he's learning from, polished wide receivers, which is only going to help him grow. And then, of course, my other winner, I got to talk about my Philadelphia Eagles real quick. The one thing I'll say is Jalen Hurts was a winner. He goes out and gets a late hit from this Jets player, really bad late hit, gets up and goes out and just goes down the field, 6 for 6. 80 yards and 1 touchdown on his preseason drive. It was quick. It was efficient. The throws were right where they needed to be. And he looked really good. I am saying it now. Jalen Hurts will be a top 10 MVP contender at some point this year. I personally think he's going to win, but I'm an Eagles fan. Of course, I'm going to say that. I have my personal bias, but I think that he's going to come out of nowhere this year personally.
Come on, Dal. You forgot one shout out on the Eagles.
Who?
Kaiser White with a pick in his Eagles debut.
I forgot about him. He was a stud. Kaiser White, our new linebacker. Sorry for taking him from my two Chargers fans on here, but he's been fantastic. He was a huge win, and it's really nice to have a guy that I feel like we can rely on in coverage in the second level of the defense.
Did Dean play?
Yeah, dude. Dean balled out too. He was a big winner. The whole defense, that linebacking duo, and we still have TJ Edwards. So it's 0 to 100 real quick.
Well, you're being biased and all this stuff. Shout out to Kaiser White, though. That's my friend Will's cousin. But anyway, I'm not going to be biased. I think the preseason winner was the Chargers. No, just it is biased. This is why. This is why the Chargers are the preseason winner. This is why, because you look at the Raiders right now, and I hate to bring them up. Sorry, Mike. But the Raiders are killing it in preseason. They got these running backs that are killing it. That Jarrett Stidham's balling. The defense has been decent. And you see that, and you're like, okay, well, now you guys have a problem because Jarrett Stidham's looking better than Derek Carr. White is looking better than Josh Jacobs. Even Amir Abdallah is looking like he's could be their starting running back out there. So you look at all these pieces. The Chargers, on the other hand, ain't nobody out there looking better than Justin Herbert, Mike Williams, Keenan Allen, and that Bosa, Mack, Derwin. You know what I'm saying? They're just on the bench chilling because they know when season comes, they're already ready. And we already have the starting guys. And those are the good teams. They don't need anyone to play in preseason because they know they got the guys that are ready to get it done. So I'm just going to say preseason winners, when you have your best players and your starters on the bench, your starter guys are ready. They don't need no time to play with the rookies. They don't have no – Zion Johnson, by the way, is playing great. That's another win for them. But, yeah, so I'm going to say the Chargers are my preseason winners because they got the squad ready to go. They're just watching. Smiling.
Squad alert. Can I bring up a stat?
Yeah.
Both the 0-16 Lions and the 0-16 Browns went 4-0 in the preseasons those years. So go ahead, Vegas. Win every preseason game you fucking can.
Well, you guys are actually going to love our final topic. You know why? Our last topic of the night. I got two of them with me. Bolton up to the ball. I'll go first. I'll give you guys the unbiased opinion, and then I'll let you guys hit it home. But, I mean, this team is stacked. I mean, I look at you guys from an outside opinion, and I'm like, Jesus, Mary and Joseph. They're going to be really, really good this year. I think that what they've built here with Herbert, with James, with Khalil Mack, it is going to be scary. Bringing in J.C. Jackson. I can keep going on and on. I mean, I'll let you guys do that, but I really think you guys have a really decent shot of going to the Super Bowl from the AFC, from an outside opinion. I think you guys are my third favorite team. I think number one, it's going to be the Bills. Number two for me, I don't know. I want to say it might be the Broncos just because Russell Wilson has experience and they're built really, really good in my opinion. But you guys and the Broncos and the Chiefs are all really, really close for me, with the Raiders not far behind. I really am not too hot on the Raiders. I think even with talent, they could fumble the bag.
Jared Stidham.
Oh, here we go. Oh, man. I'll take next, man. Yeah, when you look on paper, the Chargers have the best roster in the NFL right now. No other team has an edge rushing duo like Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa on the same D-line. And we have Sebastian Joseph Day in the middle, which people forget about. He's one of the highest rated run stoppers in the league, and that was our weakness last year. And then I think like another top 5 rated run stopper in Austin Jackson is going to be lining up next to him. Jerry Tillery is now a backup. The guy who's been our starter for like 3 years is now a backup on this team because there's so much depth. No team has a Joey Mack. No team has a Joey Mack on their defensive line. No team has J.C. Jackson and Derwin James level players in the same secondary. No team has a quarterback at the level of Justin Herbert throwing to a weapon core with guys like Austin Eckler, guys like Mike Williams, guys like Keenan Allen on it. This team is absolutely loaded. And the sneaky thing that the Chargers did that I think that really can cement our trip and can really impact our playoff run is they brought back D-Hop, 33 of 35 or something close to that last year when he took over for Tristan Vizcaino. They brought in a new special teams coordinator. Our special teams has been abysmal over the last couple of seasons. And the biggest one, they signed an elite returner, in my opinion, in DeAndre Carter, who used to be in Washington and was taking a big return out almost every single week. They don't all turn into touchdowns, but this guy adds 10 yards to every drive. You add that up over a season, you do the math. It's going to be a lot of gained yards for an offense that already gains a lot of yards on its own. So I'm pretty pumped about it.
I agree. With. Obviously, Mike is saying straight facts. Like everything he's saying is facts. I can't disagree with anything he said. I will say I'll add on to that and say the O-line is nice this year. I think we're really confident in the O-line. Obviously, the defensive line. Everything Mike said, I'm not going to reiterate too much of what he said. I did want to say one thing about. Actually, I want to say a lot of things. But Justin Herbert, we were talking about. Do I like mobile quarterbacks? Well, my favorite quarterback in the league right now is a mobile quarterback, Justin Herbert, and my second is Russell Wilson. But that's beside the point. What I'm saying is Justin Herbert is the best mobile quarterback in the league right now. If you want to talk about pure running, I think he's second behind Lamar Jackson, and people might think it's a hot take, but if you look at Justin Herbert run, he runs almost as good as the best guy in the league with Lamar Jackson. I think he's a good amount above the third guy. But second of all, Lamar Jackson got the arm and the accuracy and just everything that Justin Herbert brings outside of his leg. So when you want to talk about the best mobile quarterback and maybe the best quarterback in the game right now, you got Justin Herbert. And what we know about Super Bowl winning teams, you got to have a great defense or you got to have a great quarterback. They got both. So I think this team's going to Super Bowl. Yeah, hey, put them in, both of them. Let's go. Hey, let's get it, man. Mike, no, that's what it is. If you say, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to take both of them. Every position on the Chargers, wide receivers, you want Keenan Allen or Mike Allen, I'll take both of them. You know what I'm saying? So I'll take both. Isaiah Spiller or Austin Eckler, I'll take both of them. So Joey Mack, Joey Mack, is that a thing now? Because I just said
Joey Mack.
Joey Bosa, Khalil Mack. Take both of them. So yeah, Derwin James, Tom 17, JT Jackson. You just got too many players, man. You got too many good players on this team. It's wild. But yeah, Super Bowl. They're my number one pick in the Super Bowl, Mike. You already know, dog. You should know if you don't know. My number one pick. Second would be the Bucs. We got Tom Brady, still one of the greatest. Then it'd be the Broncos. Then it'd be the Bills, and then the Rams. Those are my top 5. Holla at me.
After we get done with the Broncos, Justin Herbert's new nickname is going to be Mr. Unlimited Senior.
His dad?
Yeah.
You got to make those T-shirts, Mike. There you go.
Mr. Unlimited Senior.
Put it on a shirt.
Yeah. But yeah, everybody, I mean, that's pretty much all we got. I mean, that was fun. I like it. A real quick, concise episode. I mean, if you guys don't already, I'll be dropping this on Spotify tomorrow, most likely. So you can tune in there. If you only got to tune into a little bit, got to tune into the end, you can listen to the beginning. You guys can follow Mike at NFL Mike. You can follow Jay at Jay Bolted. You can follow me, Dalt, at 302 Birds. So if you guys want Mike to keep coming back on the show, let us know in the comments. We'll try to get him here as much as we can, as much as he can. But we're going to try to do this like bi-weekly, maybe monthly. We'll keep all you guys posted on how often we can do it. But, just keep bringing, back passionate NFL fans. That's what we want this to be, and have debates like maybe is Trey Lance a good QB, and interesting takes like that.
Yeah,
Here we go.
Good, big overstatement. But we won't go into it.
We got our first thing.
He's not even bad. He's not even bad. Sam Darnold's bad. Trey Lance isn't even bad. He's below that.
We got our first thing on the record. All right, we got our first thing on the record. What was it? It's Jared Goff versus Trey Lance or Zach Wilson? Is that your final answer? Pick one. I'll take Zach Wilson.
We want some rushing ability. They're both young. Jared Goff's been in the game for a long time. Like he's too good to pair up with Trey Lance. But I will say this though.
Versus Trey Lance.
I believe, dog, tell the people next show, 2 weeks. It may be on Wednesday after 302 Birds because of Monday Night Football. Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, that's probably what we'll end up doing. That's a good point. Thank you, Jay. So probably 2 weeks from now, Wednesday, not this coming Wednesday, but the following Wednesday, we'll probably do it after 302 Birds, like right at 10 o'clock or something. So it'll be a little bit later for Jay, and Mike, if he wants to join us, he's always welcome. But for everybody here on our YouTube too, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. That helps us out a ton. And we'll keep trying to bring you guys good NFL content. I mean, either of you guys got anything else to say before we wrap up?
Drop Trey season.
Trey Lance is garbage.
Trey area season in the comments. Trey season with the rocket emoji.
If you think that Trey Lance is going to be a good quarterback, tell Jay to tell Dalton to hit the intro, because Jay actually thinks that Trey Lance. I'm trying to get Jay to say it. Say it, Jay.
Eli Mitchell's going to be a backup in week 8.
No. Oh my!
Did you guys see that? Jay said it so fast, it was like flash. He said that Trey Lance is going to be a good QB.